All right, hello everyone. We're on Looking New with Lady Blue. We are doing braids and the shape up today. So half of the head has already been done. Basically, is a cornrow here. There's small cornrows coming down, and then they're brought upward into a cornrow on top. So that's is basically a cornrow here. Cornrows coming down, and then the ends are brought over to the top. So we're going to do that again. I parted it, sectioned that here. We're doing those cornrows on the sides, and the cornrow on the bottom has already been made. So that is the style for today. And we're going to have you watching us do the style. Welcome to Looking New with Lady Blue. So what I do is I basically use a biotin cream. I basically make it myself. The reason why is because I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and there's a lot of brands in the beauty supply store that do not do what they say they're supposed to do. And some of them will say they don't flake, and they do. Some of them will say it doesn't make your scalp itch or dry out, but they do. And the reason why is because when products are mass produced, in the beginning, when a person normally comes up with a line, what happens is it'll become popular. A lot of people will start buying it. And then out of nowhere, if they get a big break, like a big major company that's well known, and they will basically say, okay, we need to know what's inside of that product. And once they know what's inside of the product, they're going to figure out a way to substitute it and make it more profitable on their end. So that's the reason why I take the time to make a lot of my products. I actually have my own hair product line. I stopped it during COVID because it was very difficult for me to do shipping and work from home. I should have continued it, but it was just a lot. I didn't want to have the merchandise all in my home. But with a cosmetology license, you can do a lot of things because they teach you everything. They teach you hair care, skin care, nails, barbering, and it's really good because they go deep into hair structure, skin structure, disease control, basically anatomy, science, mathematics, all of that is required to get a haircut or to look at a picture of a haircut and know what mathematical degrees to lift the hair and angle the hair to get it to that style with scissors. Also clippers as well. So all of this is actually a part of cosmetology schooling. You learn about chemicals as well, and you learn about the different harmful things that can be caused if you don't use it properly. A lot of people assume that when they Google things, then that is the answer to a lot of their questions, and it's not. Google will always give you a general answer, and a lot of people, they'll even misdiagnose themselves. They got to be careful. I've seen people go to the emergency room, and it was so crazy. You know, they'll try to diagnose their self in reference to their hair, and it's because they bought a product from the beauty supply store, and it was a commercial product, and it didn't do what it said it was going to do. It did something else, and they think something went wrong, and it's not even what they think it is. So always go see a professional when it comes to your hair, your appearance enhancement, because when you look good, you feel good. Spend the money, because when you spend the money and you got the service that you wanted, it's awesome. It was worth the payment. The person knew what they were doing, and you don't have to worry about somebody in their kitchen doing it and possibly making you sick. That's very dangerous. A lot of people were doing it during COVID because they had no way to get to a salon, but a lot of them ran to the salons and barbershops afterwards because, you know, somebody sneezed and lost a mustache or something, or they didn't use the proper tools to get a certain look and have to start all over. So basically, you know, you gotta be really careful when it comes to products. Even if you go natural, you're still playing with fire, because it's natural doesn't mean that it's good for you. Everything that's natural means that it's strong. It doesn't mean that it's good for you. If you use something that is strong the wrong way, you can seriously harm yourself. It's not safe because it's natural. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. If it's pure, it's stronger because it doesn't have any diluting that took place. And they heavily dilute a lot of oils and stuff that you buy out of beauty supply stores. So people, they get upset because when they buy something, it's not completely what it is that they wanted. So that's basically some info about products, you know, when it comes to buying stuff for the hair. And like I said, I use a biotin cream, and we did one cornrow first on the bottom on each side, and then small cornrows coming downward for the middle of the half a section. Well, first of all, I washed, deep conditioned, blew out his hair first. Part of his head down the middle. So this way, I'm gonna make sure both sides are a reflection of each other. And that's very important. That's just a professional thing to do. And then you make sure, like I said, both sides are a reflection and look exactly the same. So the first thing that I did was parted down the middle, and then I started one side. The first thing that I did after I did that was I made sure that the first braid on the bottom was done, and that is the cornrow, the first one right here, which is like this. Then there's the small ones coming down, and then there's the cornrow right here, which all those little braids go into, the end pieces, which is pretty cool. I always try different looks on this client. How long you been coming to me now?
About 6 years.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this customer is someone who basically comes to the door and is like, okay, you know, just break my hair up, you know, and we've done so many different styles over the years. It's to the point where I definitely use pictures of this client for advertisement for my business, and I've like flyers online and stuff, because he's a perfect example of my work and the history of his hair health from coming to me to get his hair done. In between getting your hair done by me, have you ever tried other stylists and allow them to do your hair?
No.
Okay, so I can't even ask you the next question, because I was gonna say to compare me to them. People that you went to before me, What was the difference between my services versus their services when it comes to braids?
Your services, well, when it comes to your services look very spot on. And the other service I had, they were okay, but they just, they really know exactly how to get things done on time. And you, on the other hand, you definitely know how to get things done on time, especially when it comes to a customer like myself coming here to get my hair done on when I come in on time.
Were you waiting like in a lobby area or something like that? Is that what the problem was? Did they make appointments or they did walk-ins? Like, how did they provide their services as far as time-wise that made you feel uncomfortable?
They had me waiting for a little bit, a while back then. I would say they had me waiting for about, one time I went to the appointment it was a lot, about like I had an appointment that time, I believe it was around at 1 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I waited for about an hour, maybe or hour more than that.
You think they were maybe understaffed, or like was it the same person doing your hair, or was it many people, or?
I believe it was probably understaffed at the time, from what I remember.
Wow. Yeah, braids, they do take time. So like it's really important to make sure that you clear your schedule. Definitely, like if someone is coming in and they're getting like those long braids, you see like the long braids a lot of women get, and you can tell like it requires a lot of time. And it's crazy how a lot of them will say, oh, you know, they only want to sit for the most 5 hours. And I think that's the reason why in a lot of shops you'll see like 3 or 4 people braiding someone's hair. The problem with that is no one braids like another person. Nobody braids like another person. They can make the braid look very neat and very similar, but nobody braids exactly the same. So according to how many people you have in your hair is, you know, the different ways that that braid is done. So if you're getting box braids and there's 4 people braiding your hair all at the same time, you're getting box braids done in 4 different ways. And that's something a lot of people don't realize. They just want it done, and I respect that. But I know for a fact that nobody braids just like another person. It may look similar, it could be styled similar, but it's never exactly the way the picture looks. It'll come out somewhat different. That's just the way it is. The person who's doing it, if they've gone to school, they've probably perfected how to dissect the style so that it looks as close as possible, but it's never like exactly how the style is or done. Even if you do the steps from 1 to 10, 1 by, you know, wash, break, put this finger over that finger, you know, whatever. You can do it exactly the same method, and still it's not going to come out looking exactly like that previous person. So it's kind of like a person handwriting or their signature, so to say. Yeah, absolutely. So how long have you been getting your hair braided?
Oh, like over the course of years?
Mm-hmm.
That would be about 6 years.
Wow. Is it cheaper to have braids or to get haircuts every 2 weeks?
Before I decided to go into braids, I always been wanting to get myself a haircut at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to have like either a fade or trim, but it's much cheaper when I went to get a haircut. When I get haircuts at the time, when I was like in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Now as when I started to be in my late 20s somewhere, I decided I wanted to make a change, and that was me wanting to grow my hair and have some braids. So
what made you decide to no longer go with the full head cut and instead get a shape up and get like cornrows in your hair? What made you make that change, that major move?
I it I guess you could say it was some type of change I wanted to make. It wasn't anything like, I guess me having fade and trims, it was okay. I had those at the time. Like I always get those in time when I need to get a haircut. But as I've been looking at myself, it's like I just wanted to like look a little different since I was just like getting older now, and I wanted to actually
More
like
mature.
look more like right.
Okay, cool. When you go to job interviews and you have braids in your hair, do they look at you different, you think, versus a person with a haircut? Because I know some people who get locks done in their hair, and that's also a natural hairstyle. A lot of guys tell me that they are viewed differently with the locks in their hair. They're very judgmental. So when you come in there with braids, do they look at you differently, you think? Or you think they take you seriously because you get yours done professionally or whatever? Have you been treated differently when it comes to employers?
From my recent experience, when I got hired at my job, they didn't really look. They didn't really ask me questions all casually with my skill sets that I would bring as far as my hair goes, they didn't seem to say anything much about it. They think it's like, oh, you look like a decent guy. I trust him.
So that, I guess, when you get any style, whatever the maintenance is to maintain it is a very important part, because if you don't maintain your style looking neat, it's very hard to adapt to whatever event you're going to, or accommodate your day-to-day living. Definitely, I would say if you're working in an office, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta upkeep your braids. What do you do at home to upkeep your braids?
Normally, what I do, whenever I get home from my job, I make sure I have my I usually wear a do-rag around my braids, because I don't like to have any kind of frizz coming out of my hair, like I haven't I had looked a little like I haven't took care of my hair. And that was the early time when I first had braids. I had learned that from the experience the first time I had braids. And I realized like the best thing I could do was just like put on my do-rag for times I need to wear, especially right before going to bed. And then as I get up, I decided to take my do-rag off just to see the results of if the braids still look the same. So the braids did look the same from the other day. And I also like to put some oil, most importantly, to help my hair to grow, and also to keep my scalp from being itchy.
Wow. So it's would you say it's high maintenance compared to getting a haircut and just letting the barber do everything? Because you mentioned oiling your scalp. You mentioned that you definitely got to make sure you put that do-rag on, because you said you don't like the frizziness. So do you think it's more work having the braids in your hair, or?
It is more work, but I don't normally mind it. But again, I took upon myself to make a change to want to have braids, and I right now have no complaints about having braids in my hair. As long as I know it's just something I kind of want to learn more how to deal with myself having a different kind of hairstyle compared to what I had in my early 20s.
Yeah, you change up your hairstyle every month. Like your hair is never braided up in the same style that you previously had. That's another thing. Is that something that you like about having braids? Like, what are the things that you like about having your hair braided?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, when I wanted to get my hair, whenever I see myself with braids, it kind of makes me look a lot much different, like more confident. And I kind of actually like something to help me feel more confident, especially when it comes to my braids. I always had kind of did look back myself that I saw myself with a different hairstyle before that was probably the time when I had the fade and the trim. Though I did mind those, but I kind of was thinking back at some point eventually I was going to have braids because I seen many celebrities who were looking decent with their braids and everything.
Ooh, celebrities. Which celebrities that you saw braids on and you liked them?
One of them is AI, Allen Iverson.
Okay. Now you done had that style, and it's really crazy because I like that hairstyle on you, and I've done it a couple of times. I've done it with the zigzag. I've done it where it's an X in the middle. I've done it straight back. Like, we really experimented with different styles when it comes to the Allen Iverson braids. So that's cool. What other famous people that you've seen their hair braided and it just made you gravitate toward it?
Omarion was another one.
Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, he definitely braids his hair up in most of the music videos that I've seen him perform in. Yeah, his hair was braided up. He has long hair. Absolutely. Is there any others?
Actually, there is more. A rapper I haven't heard. There's a rapper named Jaquan. He used to have braids at the time. He was another one I kind of had. He was another one that I actually liked when it came to not just about his music, but his braids overall. Kind of made me, I always kind of wish I had the braids he wanted, but years now later, I do have the braids I actually wanted. So.
Okay, cool. So after your cornrows are done, you get a shape up, and you get a shape up by a female. So you've been coming to me for 6 years now, you said?
Yes.
So before that, you were going to see a guy to get your hair cut. Do you think getting your hair cut by a female is better or is convenient because I braid your hair as well, or what made you decide to make that move?
Well, first and foremost, it wasn't just a male that I had that just did my hair when I was doing this rock with the trim and the fade.
Oh, okay, so you had a female barber before.
Right, it was a female too. Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, because I know a lot of guys are really picky about considering letting a female be their barber. Hello, everybody who's just tuning in. Just so you know, you're tuning in to Looking New with Lady Blue. We just got finished doing some cornrows, and they are completed. And now we're about to go into doing that shape up to get Mr. Anthony on his way and going. And we're just, going over some things. We spoke about the products that they put in your hair when you get the braids. You got to be careful with those products because some of them can cause buildup, itching. Some of them turn white. Some of them actually cause breakage too. And that's really not good. The goal is for your hair to grow. And a lot of people do braids also for a protective style, which is they want their hair to basically grow while they're doing other things. They don't want to have to worry about it. And that's why there are women who braid their hair up, then they put the wig cap on, and then they get their lace front and they get whatever it is. So when you see women with these sew-ins and all that hair on top, guess what? They have braids underneath there. They have cornrows. So yes, the women, there's a lot of them now that are getting the braids done in a protective style, which is underneath a sew-in. And I'm probably going to do that very soon as well, because there's different ways to braid the hair in a protective manner when you are getting a sew-in. Sometimes you do it a special way for a part or just the style in general. So we also went over that I like to do a part down the middle because the hairstyle basically has to be a reflection of each other on both sides. So I did a part down the middle, and then I proceeded with doing the braids. This client is a 6-year client, and he was just talking about his decision to go to braids to look more mature, a new look, and the different maintenance comparisons. Now with the braids, as well as with a haircut, didn't you wear a do-rag at night or no?
I wear a do-rag at night, yes.
But when you were getting a haircut and not braids, did you wear it then too?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, so definitely the do-rags you're saying is just very important in general, no matter what style you're getting.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now we've already shaped up the back of his neck, and now we're gonna go around those ears. And the clipper that I'm using is actually the T-liner. There's different versions of the trimmers when it comes to the one that you use to do the shape up area and lining it up. There's the outliner too, and there's also the T-liner. And the T-liner is really good for getting around those ears. It's safer. The outliner too is basically shaped like a box, and the T-liner, well, it is shaped like a T. So you can just use the corner to go around those ears, and it's more precise. Yeah, so you've actually been with me ever since Grove Street. Before that, I remember me being at my first shop in Jersey, where I was upstairs from another business, and that was a very interesting experience. And that's when I knew I preferred to be ground level. And then that was when I met you. I think I would see you going to work, and I was just like, you know what, let me give him a flyer. And I'm truly honored to say that you're one of my best customers, because I don't have to worry about going behind someone else's work too much, because it's nothing for me to correct. I could just go right to doing your hair, and that's awesome. Now the facial hair is very soft, everyone. So do you do any special maintenance for your beard? Because you are definitely in the beard game. At home, do you do any special maintenance?
Yes, I do that. I normally like to, if my beard is very bit long, I normally like to, I usually like to wash my beard and everything before I decide to brush it down a little, just to make it a little smoother.
Okay. So today, are you going to cut it down, or are you gonna keep it full? Because you know they say the weather is changing, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time I go outside, I'm seeing 80s weather. I'm seeing 75 between 80s weather. So do you want to take it down more, or you want to leave it bushy and just shape it up?
You can take it down.
Okay. I want you just to hold the mirror on your lap, because as you know, I constantly come to you to let me know if you would like me to take more down. I feel as though it's very important to involve your customer in the step-by-step process, because you want to make sure that they get the look that they want, because they're the ones that's wearing the look, not you. So you pick the beard out first, and then what I do is I get the customer to look in the mirror and give me input on exactly what they want. He wants to take it down. Right now I'm using a number 3. to go down on just the sides first. And then I want you to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and tell me, do you want me to take down the area that's underneath your lip, the chin area as well?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes, believe it or not, there are people who want that area to be a little bit fuller. And I think that is a style now that's coming out where they'll wear it like longer in that area. So that's the reason why. Look up at the ceiling, love. I like to make sure that I ask the customer blow by blow, you know, because I want to make sure it's exactly what you want, because you are the one that's walking out the door with the look. And the look is definitely created by you because it's done with your input step by step. Okay, so take a look in the mirror and let me know, is that low enough for you?
You can make it a little lower.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So I did the number 3, and the number 3, it was actually not low enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the number 2, and because I don't want to rush into cutting off more than the customer will want, I would do the number 2 open. So each guard, basically, you can use open and close. Open and close. So it's very, very important that you know that, and you know how your different guards cut. See, they have numbers on them before you use them. That is very, very important. So open, basically, of course, it's going to take down less. And you can make it midway closed and all the way closed to get a closer cut. Look up at the ceiling, please. So, with your beard, does it grow back fast compared to your head, or does the hair on your head grow faster?
I think my beard does grow back pretty same as my hair, the hair on top of my head.
Interesting.
Yeah, it kind of runs in my family that most of our hairs grow back fast after recently getting a haircut or Shapeup.
Believe it or not, whenever you apply metal to different parts of the body, whatever is put there to protect it always grow back fast. And it's the same thing with like pedicures. This is the reason why it's a health hazard for people to use that cheese grater on their feet. When they go to get a pedicure and they let those people use a cheese grater on the foot, what happens is the dead skin grows back faster. That hard skin is there to what? To protect it. And it's the same thing here around your eyes, your eyebrows, your eyelashes. All of that is there to protect your body for what? Getting things inside of your eyes and, you know, so on. So it's the same thing. You know, I'm gonna on one day, and you're probably gonna laugh, but I'm gonna tap and then I'm gonna stop just in case you do. But I find it interesting, underarm hair. What are you protecting under my arm? You see what I'm saying? I would love to ask a doctor that. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they get that area cut, of course, and it's very uncomfortable. A lot of people do it hygiene-wise. They don't want to smell musty, or they just don't want to have to deal with such a deodorant buildup. You put deodorant on and it's like caked up under your underarm. You see what I'm saying? So my curiosity is, what is the purpose of the underarm hair? So I think I'm going to ask that one day when I go see a doctor. I'm just curious to what that hair is actually protecting. It'll be very interesting to find out. So I went around the mustache area already. I'm basically gonna go around the beard now and continue that lineup I started around those ears and make sure that it's nice and neat. I normally give him like a half circle curvature thing going on over here. So it's very soft, but not too I don't know, squarish. So I noticed I've done both before and I got a good response when I did that, so I just stuck with it. Whatever a customer likes, it's good to stick with it. And that's including the prices, people. You know, a lot of barbers, they jump around with the prices, and I think that's bad. I think that it's better for a person to already know what they're paying and pay the same price every time. But don't get me wrong, I know inflation does exist. You know what I'm saying? But my thing about it is, I mean, don't you agree? Like, you shouldn't be jumping around with the prices. That's like really bad.
Correct.
Yeah. I think that's like so uncool. So we're almost done, everyone. I basically went around the sides for the beard. Cleaned the mustache up. I took it down, shaped it up. And now I'm doing the hairline. And with the hairline area, you can use, again, the outliner too, or you can use the T outliner. I like the T outliner for the face as well, because when I'm doing those sides and I need that C curve, the T liner gets it exactly how I want it every time. So my preferences and my go-to would definitely be the T liner. So with the braids in your hair, do you get a lot of girls that come up to you and ask you, can I braid your hair?
Not very often.
Oh, okay. Do they ask you who braided your hair?
Few of them had when I was working at a different job at the time.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Look up at the ceiling for me. So everyone, this is, I guess you can say, the fun part for me. I'm basically cleaning up the neck area, and I'm gonna see the final look. Hello, for those who are just coming in. We're doing Looking New with Lady Blue. We did braids, cornrows, and now we're doing the shape up. The shape up includes the beard. And a lot of the ladies, they love the beard. So, like, you grabbing at your beard or trying to touch your beard, or do you get a lot of that?
I guess you could say I get a little bit of love bombing when they see me, not just about my beard, but my braids and my skin overall.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Okay, we see you. Take a look in the mirror. Is there anything else that you would like me to do?
No, that will be it.
Okay, no problem. So what advice would you give a person who's like, you know what? I'm thinking about allowing a female to cut my hair. What would you say to that person who wants to, decide whether or not they want to try a female barber?
Well, my best advice for the person that's skeptical about giving a female barber a try, I would say you should put trust to that. Though me, personally, I don't think it matters what gender you are. I look at it by more of your profession. However, giving females overall a chance to cut your hair, they know what they like about what they see in a man, especially when it comes to the type of hair and beard that the men have on them. Especially, think about it. If you know women have some different preferences of a certain man when it comes to certain hairstyles and beards, what makes you think a female barber would not know what they can do for a man if they want to get their hair done?
Interesting. I never really thought of it like that, but you're right. Don't get me wrong though. Some people go with their comfort zone and they stick with a male barber because they feel as though a female has no idea what she's doing. But that is definitely something they should take into consideration. Is there anything that I do that's different compared to the other female barber that you went to 6 years ago?
Anything different? I wouldn't say different, but I would say it was been much better.
What about your skincare? Cause I know there's some barbers, they be out here, the clippers are too sharp and they're zeking people. So what about your skin?
Yes.
Does your skin feel irritated or what are the differences?
Well, you've been very careful with the razors compared to the other two barbers I had when I was rocking with the fade cuts.
Oh wow.
So they do cut my hair good. The way they go on the edges, just it kind of make my skin normally turn a little red.
Did you ever break out or anything from skin irritation from getting a haircut or whatever?
Not necessarily, but it's just that it has been my skin just been turned so red because, mind you, my skin is a little bit sensitive. So I'm born with sensitive skin, and I kind of didn't think of it at the time. I didn't know much how sensitive my skin was when I was getting my hair shapen up by the barber. So
it wasn't something you were really looking out for. You just discovered it when it happened, I guess.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh wow. Okay, look up at the ceiling for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically putting a tea tree lotion on the skin everywhere that's a Shapeup area or area that the clipper is basically touched. And I use a tea tree lotion because number one, it's going to moisturize it. Number two, tea tree lotion basically is an antibacterial oil in it. And that's going to heal the skin. And it's going to basically protect the skin from breakouts. I always say that it's very important to not touch the hairline right after a haircut, just to prevent it. Now, this towel isn't really, really hot like I normally would do because I'm at a new location. I'm waiting for my towel warmer to come. But basically what I do is I wrap the customer's face and the back of their neck as well, because the clippers do touch that area. And then I slowly take my time and I wipe the skin area that I put the lotion on. and then wrap the towel in. The hot temperature, or even just a warm temperature, will basically allow your pores to open up and absorb that tea tree oil. So this way you don't have to worry about, you know, a breakout. So protecting that skin and taking good care of it is very important. One thing that I don't like is seeing a guy with a really nasty breakout on the back of his neck. Have you ever seen that before? Like those really nasty breakouts, and you're like, he definitely has a situation. If that ever happens to anyone, please go see a doctor, because that's serious. You may have to get a prescription. It can be that those clippers are not being cleaned properly. Barbicide is very important. It's very important that they spray the clippers in between use as well. And it's very important that you try to get someone who is licensed. A lot of people learn how to do things in their kitchen, their bathroom. That's not professional. That's not learning, you know, disease control and so on. I like Clubman on my guys. I basically dilute it a little bit, and then with the braids I put some mousse on there. It's not the type of mousse that curls or hardens. It's a setting mousse that I actually dilute a little bit to help that style to last long as well. Take a look in the mirror. And everyone, this is the finished look. So, Mr. Anthony, how do we do? Did we do good today? How do we do?
Well, from looks of it, I say as usual, 10 out of 10.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Looking New with Lady Blue. Be careful with those clippers. Be careful with everything that you do. And take pride in when it comes to purchasing a service to get pampered or treated good, to look good. Because when you look good, you feel good. Take care. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.